before that because he had a house in LA already. So I think his move to the Lakers was already thought out. I know he did say that Kyrie, is him leaving was the beginning of the end, but that's no surprise. So, updated QB face bracket. I got 2 wrong last week. God, I'm so mad about that. And honestly, I don't even know, because it's based off the quarterback. Defense doesn't matter. Coach doesn't matter. Like I said, I thought the Rams were going to win, but Wilson's a better quarterback than Goff. So I technically got that one wrong, but not really. Oh, God, but I should have picked... I should have picked Baker over Big Ben. Because he was playing better. I got to think about the rules. Got to think about the rules of this before I say that. Baker was playing better than Big Ben at that point. I should have... Damn. So I technically got 2 wrong, but I kind of got 1 wrong. Because unless, I think Goff did outplay Wilson. So I guess I got 2 wrong. Alright. Here we go, though. So based on quarterback performance, defense irrelevant, receivers irrelevant, coach irrelevant. Experience, irrelevant. All how they're playing right now, that's all that matters. Mayfield versus Mahomes. Mahomes is 23-1 in his past 24 starts. He has a 106.6 quarterback rating. The Chiefs have scored 20 or more points in all playoff games with Mahomes. I'm taking Mahomes there. Mayfield has played very well this year, though, and I'm excited to see what he does in the future. Josh Allen versus Lamar Jackson. It's a tough one. They're the 2 hottest teams in the NFL. But Josh Allen, 7-0 since Week 12. Also, 46 total touchdowns. I'm taking Josh Allen there. Slightly over Lamar Jackson. Lamar's a great quarterback. I'm just going to take that. All right. Rodgers versus Goff. Goff has the most turnovers, fewest touchdowns, and worst passer rating amongst any quarterback left. I'm taking Rodgers here. Brady versus Breeze. Tom Brady has most games on the road without a pick. Breeze has 10 touchdowns and 6 turnovers in the last 5 playoff games. I'm taking Brady, but the Saints are going to win that one. Allen versus Mahomes. Allen versus Mahomes. All right, that's a tough one. That is all right. Josh Allen has a touchdown in each of his last 6 games. Mahomes has 7 total turnovers in 6 games. Right now, Josh Allen's going to win that one. But the Chiefs, I think, would beat the Bills because of the experience and all that. But QB face bracket, Allen wins that against Mahomes. Rodgers versus Brady. The last 5 times a QB led in passer rating, completion percentage, and touchdowns, like Aaron Rodgers has, they have made a Super Bowl. So I'm going to take Rodgers here. So we got Rodgers and Allen in the Super Bowl. And remember, like I said, experience doesn't matter. Brady did beat Rodgers this year. He did. And Brady's the GOAT, so he can pull out anything off. But right now, Rodgers is playing better than him. So Allen versus Rodgers. For the first time in NFL history, Rodgers is the first person in NFL history to have 40-plus touchdowns with 5 or less picks. Allen is a phenomenal quarterback, but I'm going to take Rodgers here by a nose. So Rodgers is still winning the QB face bracket. Back to the Urban Meyer hiring, because I think this might be the best... Well, it's the best hire yet, obviously, but maybe there are going to be better hires. So I got... This right now, this is a great hire. Now, the question is, how will Urban Meyer like losing in Jacksonville? Yeah, he lost 9 games in 7 years. You don't need to win to be a success as a coach, it's going to sound delusional, but it's true. You don't need to win Super Bowls to be a success. Because the Jaguars are not in a Super Bowl or bust place right now. So if he makes like Jason Garrett was hired when the Cowboys, he was hired when the Cowboys didn't have, they weren't Super Bowl or bust when they hired Jason Garrett. So he won a couple he made it to playoff games. He won a couple playoff games. Didn't win a Super Bowl, but it was a success. Like it's kind of like a Mike McCarthy situation here. McCarthy was a success in Green Bay. He won one Super Bowl. He made a bunch of playoffs. He made 8 straight or something. He made 8 straight playoff experience. 8 straight playoffs. He had one bad year. Everyone gets on your case. It's insane. But I think Garrett was not a bad coach. He wasn't. But I'm glad I didn't go with him for the Jets job. Because Colin Cowherd said the same thing. I didn't think it was the best take, but it works. And he got ripped. Good God, did people not like that? So I'm glad I picked Matt Eberflus instead. But, now think about this. Bill O'Brien took the Texans from 2-14 to 9-7. Jim Kelly went 10-6 and 10-6. He's better than both of them. So I think that erases the college to NFL argument. And I don't think it's going to be losing for that long, honestly. Like the Big Ten football is like power running and defense. But I think he could pull that off because I think Jacksonville still has a pretty good defense. No, I'm kidding. Because I think they have like the 31st most points allowed. But he can fix that. The Jaguars got the first overall pick this year. Unfortunately, it's going to be Trevor Lawrence. But once they fix the QB, they're going to have a middle pick next year, which is going to be a pain in the ass. But I don't think it's not going to be losing for that long. I don't think so. But they got James Robinson at running back. He's a great running back. James Robinson's a great running back. So they got the running back, the power running solved. They got the quarterback solved. Their receivers aren't terrible. They just got to get their defense solved. And once that happens, because it's not going to, the defense is going to develop. There's going to be some defenders that develop. And some players are going to need to get drafted or signed from free agency. So I don't think it's going to be losing for that long. I do know that successful people struggle with patience. He's never had more than 5 losses in a year, and he'll probably go 6-10 or 7-9. So I don't know how he'll feel about that. I hope he's patient, though. I hope he understands he's going to a place that has the first overall pick for a reason. So I think it'll work. Alright, so for the first time on this podcast, I'll be covering the MLB. MLB, NBA, NFL. That's how I roll on this podcast. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm not a clone of Colin Cowherd. I am an MLB guy too. So DJ LeMahieu and the Yankees reach an agreement. Alright. As a Yankees fan, this is... Oh, God, I gotta explain myself, don't I? Yeah, I do. Yeah. So I work for the Cavs, Packers, and Yankees. I became a Packers fan. Because I asked my father if I had to be a Jets fan. He said no. I said, who are the Jets playing? He said the Packers. The Packers won. And I said, whoever wins this game is my favorite player. It's my favorite team, I meant. Packers won. Packers are my favorite team. No bandwagon. The first Sports Illustrated article I read was about LeBron going to the Cavs. So I was like, oh, awesome. I'll root for the Cavs, I guess. LeBron seems like I've heard he's a good player. So, no bandwagon there. Yankees, I root for because it's in my family. So, that's why I'm a Yankees, Cavs, and Packers fan. Long story short. Alright. LeMahieu led the MLB in batting average and was 5th in hits. He's a great contact hitter. He hit some home runs. The Yankees, I think the Yankees have the best roster. I think the problem is they just don't stay healthy. It's annoying. I hate when they don't stay healthy. The good thing is, though, they have great next man up. They go next man up very quickly. And it's a great thing. It's a great thing to watch. They got Mike Tauchman. Miguel Andujar is not a bad player. He's just riding the bench right now because of how good our roster is. So Tauchman, Tyler Wade didn't do terrible. Mike Ford has some flashes. And Andujar, we got some great next man up players, but Luke Voit is a great hitter at first base. He led the league in home runs. Urshela is a great all-around player, third base and hitting. Torres played well 2 years ago. He had an off year this year. I'm sure he'll bounce back. I think it was just a slump. He'll be back. It was an awkward way of getting into the MLB season. MLB plays 162 games. They cut it to 60 this year. That's an awkward feeling. So I don't blame Torres for not having a great year. I think he'll bounce back at shortstop, though. Giancarlo Stanton, a great left fielder when healthy. He's a great hitter when healthy. Aaron Hicks is good when he has to be. He turns off sometimes, but Aaron Hicks is a good player. And Judge is a great all-around player, but problem is, all those players except for DJ LeMahieu were injured at some point. So, the fact that the Yankees are injury-prone is definitely a problem. So, it's kind of like Julio Jones. I had him in my top 5. I think in my first episode I covered that, but okay, so the Packers just got a field goal. They're up 3-0. I'll take that all day. But anyway, like I said, I kicked Julio out of the top 5 because he's never healthy, The argument was always, when healthy, Julio might be the best receiver in the league. When healthy. He's never healthy. So he ain't top 5 anymore. I don't know who to put at number 5. I'm not as high on Metcalf as most people are. I know he's a beast. I know he's built like a monster. He's number 5. I'll put him at number 5. I don't think he's top 2. Not better than Hopkins or Adams right now. So, time to cover more recent news. Because I'm covering this as if it were Friday. Even though... So, Brady says the Bucs have come a long way since the thumping of the Saints. Or, since the Saints thumped the Bucs 38-3 on Thursday night. Or Monday night, whatever it was. I don't disagree with him. Antonio Brown will be there. He'll make a big impact. Brady played well against the dominant Washington offense. I know people often roll their eyes at the Washington football team, but it's because of the offense. It ain't because of the defense. The defense is dominant. They might have the best defensive front in the league. The Rams have a pretty damn good defensive front, too. Only reason I'm scared, like I said, I think the Packers have to melt down to lose, but Donald is playing, and he elevates both of the other defensive ends. So, it's tough. Because it's the number 1 offense versus number 1 defense. And every time I hear number 1 offense versus number 1 defense, Super Bowl 48 comes up in my head. And if you can't recall that, that's when the Broncos played the Seahawks and got thumped. Seahawks were the number 1 defense. So I am a little scared of that. But Brady played well against the dominant defense. And Washington likes to make it ugly. They like to make it ugly, and they're good at that. But they didn't make it ugly, the Bucs. I think Saints win in a close one, but because they have a dynamic offense and a great defense. So I think they just know them. I think they have their number. So Saints win.